Let me know how the audio is. All right. Want to say shalom, y'all. Shalom, shalom, shalom. It's Michael Israel. You are watching Spiritual Combat. And on today's show, as you can tell by the title, we have a very serious topic. We're talking about um, depression in the dead season. The and everything associated with that. Uh, I wasn't sure if they blocked my video if I put suicide in the title or something like that. So I had to be careful. That's why I didn't put that in there. But we're talking about that too, and in fact, mainly suicide in the dead season, um, depression during the holiday season. Now we call it the dead season uh, according to the word, from an agricultural standpoint, this is the dead season where nothing's growing. Okay, your winter months. As y'all know, the holiday season um, is the highest time of the year for suicide and stuff like that. And if you've been watching the news the past 4 days, you've seen somebody, a Walmart supervisor, went in the break room and killed 6 people, including himself. Um, there was a woman, she burned down her boyfriend's house or her ex-boyfriend's house because another woman answered the phone or something like that. Um, if you just go look in the news, you'll see there has been a lot of crazy things going on with shootings and suicides and all that stuff like that. Um, I just had a brother ask me to speak on this topic because of the time of year it is. Brother, somebody was telling me how Deion Sanders was saying how he had broken up with his wife, or got divorced or something like that, and couldn't see his children or whatever, and he was suicidal, which they would call suicidal ideations. And if y'all can, let me know how the audio is, please. If you can, somebody just let me know how my audio is, because I'm not using the phone audio. I got my headphones. So if y'all let me know how the audio is, that'd be good. And then we'll get into this because this is a topic I don't hear people talking about it, um, but I damn sure see it going on. Okay, so y'all said the audio is a 10. Awesome. Um, you know, and when you think one of the, we're gonna really, I'm not gonna be pulling any punches on on what we're talking about here. Um, the when you what one of the biggest things, the biggest things, because when they asked Jesus what's the most important commandment, he said there's actually are two. He said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, and soul, and says, love your brothers, you love yourself. So when you come to love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul, when you come to that, a lot of people's issues in life come from violating this commandment here, where we put the ways of the Most High Yah at the forefront. We put it ahead of everything. Okay. Um, so we love the Lord our God with all of our heart, mind, and soul. But what happens in this world, the thing that happens is people make gods of other things, of people, places, and things. You know, I say it all the time. Um, I got a little lesson I do, and I try to do this lesson pretty often. I haven't done it lately, but I'll do it soon. Where, matter of fact, Umbra, if you can, pull up, put that verse in there where it talks about evil concupiscence. You know the one I'm talking about? Yeah. Maybe you could put it in the private chat and I'll read it, or just post it up there on the screen. When it's up there on the screen, I'll go in on it, okay? Whatever's easy. If you just put in the public comments, we'll do it like that. But anyway, what leads to when you see people wrestling with depression, when you see people who are suicidal or who have committed suicide, they've made a god or an idol of something. Okay, they've attached their heart to something outside of Yah. And when you do that, it can put you in a dangerous place, put your life in danger. When you make an idol, when you make a god out of something outside of the Most High Yah, because the Most High Yah is righteous. Everything else is temporal and could potentially be wicked, and it's a sin to make a god of something else. So what you find is a lot of people have put people, places, things in front of the Most High Yah, in front of His Word, in front of what the Most High Yah says to do. A lot of people have put their own feelings and emotions and mindsets in front of what the Most High Yah, in front of His way. Okay, um, that's what you see has happened. Okay, all right. So Koya posted Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. Okay, and with it, when you see people get in these dark places, is because they have unknowingly and through the deception of this society and this culture, they have unknowingly put made a god out of something. And that's the deception of this society and this culture we live in. So we're going to read Colossians chapter 3, verse 5. It says, mortify, therefore, your members which are upon the earth from from fornication, uncleanliness, uh, inordinate affection, evil concupiscence, and covetousness, which is idolatry. Inordinate affection is uncontrolled extreme emotion and attachment and lust. Okay? And, you know, like I said, I got a lesson I do, PowerPoint lesson I do on this, where I break this all the way down. But the long or the short of it is, when you look at the definition of inordinate affection, it's the exact same definition as the world's definition of love. So what the world calls love is what the word of Yah calls inordinate affection. It's just a inordinately. Umber, if you can't put the definition of affection in the comments, and I'll pull that up there. But it's what the world calls love. So when you look up the Google definition of love, it literally is the same definition as inordinate affection. And the Bible's definition of love is keeping the commandments. Ooh-wee. So now what we're beginning to see, we're beginning to get to why people get to the point where, you know, their wife left them, or she took the children, or she broke up with me, or he broke up with me, or this, that, the other. And then, I'm going into those because in my time, okay, so somebody posted it. Yeah, Umbry posted it in here. So we'll pull it up. Okay, affection. The definition of affection, gentle feeling of fondness or liking. Umbry posts inordinate in there, the definition of inordinate. Okay? So we're gonna just break this all the way down. Okay? So, you know, we're beginning to unmask why people are driven or feel driven, but why people are possessed. Why people are possessed to commit suicide or tormented by suicidal ideations, you know, thoughts of suicide, thinking about it, considering it. Okay, we're uncovering part of why this is the case. Okay, I'm gonna wait for him to post that in there. But inordinate affections, it says evil concupiscence. Umbry posts concupiscence in there. The definition of that. Okay, so inordinate, unusually or disproportionately large, excessive. And what was the definition of affection? Because it said inordinate affection. This is a type of idolatry. But listen, affection, gentle feeling of fondness or liking. Well, it said inordinate affection. So let's break it down. It says inordinate, unusually or disproportionately large, excessive fondness or liking. Now, Umbria also posts a Google definition of love. It's one of them definitions on there, because what you're going to see is that definition and society's definition and understanding of love is, and what society encourages men and women to do in these relationships is just to have this disproportionately excessive liking or fondness for your wife or for your husband or for your children or for money or for your career or for people or for places or for things or for your mindset or for your pride in yourself or for your confidence in yourself. You see what I'm saying? So people have been deceived, because Satan is a deceiver. People have been deceived into making idols out of people, places, and things, and mindsets. Okay, so what Umbry did, he posted concupiscence. Here's a definition of concupiscence. Strong sexual desire, lust. Okay? strong sexual desire, lust. This is what concupiscence is. It, hey, and it's not a sin to have concupiscence, because Michael Israel has concupiscence. Bakoya Israel, strong sexual desire, lust. I do. But what it says here is evil concupiscence. It talks about evil concupiscence. So unrighteous concupiscence. Again, it ties into the definition of what we had before that. It ties into the definition of what we just read. A lot of people attribute love to lust because of the way that the world defines it. Let's look up the world's definition of love. It says love, attraction based on sexual desire, affection and tenderness felt by lovers. So people be like, I'm in love. And little do they know they've been deceived by Satan into thinking love is a feeling, when they're really saying, I'm in lust. I'm in evil concupiscence and inordinate affection. So instead of saying, I'm in love with him, you should say, I'm in evil concupiscence and inordinate affection with him. And then when he breaks up with you, or when she breaks up with you, or when he breaks up with you, or when this person, place, or thing is removed from you, you become suicidal because you've made a god out of something, out of a mindset, out of a way of thinking, out of a concept, out of a person, out of a place, out of a thing. All right, hold on one sec. Okay. So this is the deceptive satanic mechanism operating that causes the death that you see around you a lot of times, the murder that you see. This is what causes people to murder people. A crime of what? Passion. Okay? Y'all need to go through that scripture on your own, that Colossians chapter 3 verse 5, and meticulously unpack that thing, and get those words defined of what's going on there. Okay. Because the word tells us, throw that in there, that for this is love, that we keep the commandments. Yah's word defines what love is. Love is his commandments. The only way you're going to truly be able to love somebody and give your love to somebody is by his commandments, by the way Yah tells you how to operate and function. Colossians chapter 3 verse 5 is love. That's the love of Yah, warning us not to get deceived with our feelings and emotions, and in this wicked society, by this wicked ass music. A lot of these, I used to wonder why I hated. I ain't gonna say, yeah, probably is a good word. Almost all the R&B music in the 90s, I hated it. They were like, Tevin Campbell came out as a gayfer. I was like, came out? He like, shoot. And like everything he did was like soft, weak, and effeminate. I couldn't get into it. Probably the only R&B music I liked was Belle Biv DeVoe. You know what I'm saying? That girl is poison. I mean, they was breaking it down. They was dropping biblical truth. You know what I'm saying? Never trust a big butt and a smile. I mean, they dropping biblical knowledge on you. Okay? They were dropping it. But it there is a it's Satan operating through the media, through the culture of Babylon. This is one of his big deceptions, to deceive you into thinking, oh no, I'm just falling in love. No, and the Bible tells you to guard yourself from this stuff. It said, it says, mortify therefore your members which are upon the earth. It's telling you to guard your emotions from giving them over to any people, places, things, concept, mindset. It's telling you to guard from giving your heart over to that. It's telling you to be vigilant and guard yourself from that, from giving over and getting too fond of anything out there except Yah. It's saying give your heart to Yah and his way. In the meantime, the R&B songs, the movies, the media, this culture, your family, the holidays are all telling you to give your heart over to this. Get in the what spirit? Get in the holiday spirit. Get in the Christmas spirit. You see what I'm saying? It's telling you, it's literally subtly deceiving you into the exact opposite of what thus saith the Most High Yah. And then people are wondering why they're getting demonically possessed by spirits of depression, spirits of suicide, because you serving Satan and you're getting possessed with his spirits. And what is gonna be needed is what? Coming back to the Most High Yah, getting deliverance, getting these spirits cast off you, diligently seeking out the Most High Yah with supplication. Look up the definition of the word supplication. That's another good one. That's how you come out of this. So Umbry posted 1 John chapter 5, verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments. And his commandments are not burdensome. They're not grievous. His yoke is light. Okay? So this thing, again, my show is named Spiritual Combat for a reason. You always see, I make sure I put camo. I'm always wearing camo or something, because you are at war. This is warfare. This is spiritual combat. And these spirits are, these wicked demons, these wicked ass spirits are at war. And they are on the attack right now in the Dead Sea. We are under attack. That's why you got to stay locked. You got to stay loaded. You got to stay locked in. You got to have your flat vest on, helmet on, weapon ready, and head on a swivel. Head on a swivel just means staying vigilant, looking around. I'm watching brothers and sisters under attack. I've been attacked. A lot of people have weak spirits. They're soft and they're weak, and nobody has told them that it is the thing to do to fight. Fighting is the thing to do. The Lord is a man of war. Yahuwah is his name. Okay? It's all book. Um, I always, Joshua, that book Joshua, man, that's one of my favorite books. Where Yah is, you see how the Most High Yah is showing you in the book of Joshua how he works. He's showing you. He's showing you how he works, how he blesses. He's showing you how he blesses you. He gives you the blessing. He says it's yours. Only be of good courage because you're going to have to fight. And I'm telling you, if you're wrestling with a spirit of depression, if you're wrestling with a spirit of suicide, them spirits are already defeated. Only be strong and of good courage and fight. You're going to have to fight and take your blessing because they're defeated. But it's one of the most selfish, self-centered things you could do to kill yourself, to commit suicide. Because who does it hurt? It don't hurt you. It hurts those people who care about you. That's who's gonna fall. You're gonna put them in a spirit of depression. You see what I'm saying? You're gonna hurt all the people who are in the fight. It's an attack on them now. It's a very self-centered thing because people who do that, they're not thinking about their loved ones. So it's very selfish. It's not loving your brother as you love yourself. That's just real talk, y'all. Now, getting into the other aspect of this, it's funny that all these domestic violence, what do they call it, murder, suicides, murder, homicides, all this stuff happens. And anytime I hear the murder, homicide, I damn near always know a lot of times what's going on. What you see happen all the time is some man, he'll kill his whole family, then kill himself. And then the news media is there. It's just shocking story. And then you go, nah, like it ain't shocking. I already know what it is. There was a domestic situation going on. There was a potential divorce coming or whatever. But the other thing is, you look at the time of year that this happens. It happens during the dead season. The heathens have their biggest holidays in the dead season. We know the beginning of the year. Anybody with some common sense knows the year don't start when everything's dead. A new year starts. Again, that's a heathen, beast system, satanic culture. So it's no wonder why there's so much suicide. The highest suicide rate is Christmas time. Because you serving Satan. Those are wicked holidays we were never called to celebrate. Thanksgiving is a celebration of them killing God's people, killing the Indians, cutting their heads off. The turkey represents their head being cut off. The cranberry sauce represents the blood. Look it up. Do your research. There's no reason to be ignorant At this day and age, when knowledge is everywhere, the truth is there at your fingertips. But again, they brainwash us with shallow, superficial social media trash. You get sucked into to the sorcery of social media if you're not careful so easily, and it'll make you dumber. It'll make you more. It'll prime you more for suicide. Looking at this social media stuff, social media brainwashing. So Brave posted, "Have not I commanded thee? Be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed." Pull up the definition of dismayed or dismay. "For the Lord thy God is with thee whither ever thou shalt go." So it's clearly telling you to man up. And not to man up, because it goes to the women too. To soldier up. It's telling you to soldier up, toughen up, and to be strong. Part of the problem is this soft, effeminate, weak agenda being propagated by religiosity, by the so-called religious establishment that doesn't follow the book. They just have an agenda to feminize you, make you weak and soft, and take the fight out of you. That's part of the problem. When in the book, you see them fighting for everything. Everything comes by combat and warfare. But you just see, like, man, when me and the brothers, man, when we go out here, man, the men nowadays are just so weak and soft and timid and effeminate. It's sad. And you can see the agenda at work everywhere you look. All right. Let me see if he posted that definition. Dismay, consternation, and distress, typically that caused by something unexpected. Yeah, hell, we're going to have to define that definition. I think we're going to need a better definition. Okay? Um, but that's just real talk. What do we got now, y'all? Listen to this agenda. We got this whole, oh, you hurt people saying that. Oh, yeah, you could say your truth as long as it doesn't hurt anybody's feelings. It's just an agenda. What they want you to do is to go through life and get softer and softer because nobody ever hurts your feelings, so that when your feelings finally do get hurt, you end up doing a mass shooting, or you end up killing yourself, or you can't deal with the hurt, so you just lash out and you cause more hurt and destruction. But they want you to cause hurt and destruction of the permanent type, so that you can be in hell. They don't want you to be tough so you can take the pain. I don't care. I don't care if white supremacists make videos talking about us. Who cares? Calling us N-words, I don't care. I can sit and talk to white supremacists and not get in my feelings and not get animated. I can sit there and have discourse with people who are totally against everything I'm about and not feel any type of way about it. Why? Because this is what it's about being a real man, being able to function like that. This is what it takes to be in warfare and to continue fighting and not get in your feelings. You can't get in your feelings on the battlefield, y'all. If y'all know somebody who's in the military, ask them what'll happen if they lose their head out there in the battlefield. They're going to lose their head, literally. But we are in a sensitive generation, the sensitivity generation, where feelings come first. All right, let me see. You found a better one, Umbry? Okay. He gonna post a better dismay, because consternation. I don't know that definition offhand. I'm sure some of y'all do. But distress, that basically means be upset, be bothered. You know, we gotta have that James Bond mindset. You know, that's a mindset. Okay, he put a better one in here. To feel, or no, it says dismay, to cause someone to feel very worried. And the Most High said, be not dismayed. But he said, be of good courage. Be strong and of good courage. Okay? So that's what I wanted to talk about here concerning this is, um, you know, way back when I embarked on my journey, when I had turned from the, you know, the deception that was in Christianity and started following the Mosiah's Bible for real. Um, you know, this is back before I got married and all that, but I was on my path. And man, when the holidays would come around, because prior to that, the holidays would come around and be lonely and all that stuff, and it was like, oh, you know, you can feel that spirit of heaviness is just out there because of the Christmas spirit that possesses a lot of people. And when they don't have the goody gumdrops old time that they had when they were a little child, you know, that Christmas spirit turns into heaviness and depression. And they're reminiscing on the old times, the way it used to be and all that, and it's working on it. Well, when I began to come into the truth and I got on my path of, you know, working on myself and growing spiritually, I would look forward to the holiday season, to Thanksgiving and Christmas, because it was a time for me to be by myself, totally set apart, with plenty of free time to really get to studying and working on myself and getting my mind right and getting really prepared to develop and grow. That was years ago. I remember those times. That was the only, man, that was a season of my life where I was totally by myself. I had all the time in the world to work on myself, and I took advantage of it. And as that hero's journey thing, I forget what that guy's name is who talked about that, but he was talking about with men, women too. It's with women too, and there are sisters. I've seen this in their lives, and men too. I've seen this cycle in their lives too. In your life, in, if you are a man or a woman who was not brought, raised up properly, and didn't go through a rite of passage, which is most of us, this is what happens in men's lives. Okay, you get off, you grow up, And there comes a time in your life where everything is pulled away from you and you're by yourself. And at that point, you have a decision to make. You continue doing what you've been doing, or you could begin going down the path of growing and getting on your and going back to the Most High Yah. At the end of the day, that's where the path ends. Your path ends with realizing that you're a child of Yah. But anyway, you get to a point where you're by yourself and you could choose to go down this path of growth. And when you go down that path, you're going to be by yourself, but you're going to be in it for a small season of your life. You're going to have all the time in the world to grow and develop yourself. And what happens as you grow and develop, you become a leader of men or women. And it's only for a small period of time, because as you go down this path, more people are added to you, like-minded people. And you no longer have the time like you've had before. Like me, I'll never have that period of time I had. It was maybe a 6 month to a year period of time I had where all I did was study and grow. And I don't think that time will ever happen again, because as I began to grow, things grew around me, and you know, um, but that that is something that I've seen in a lot of people's lives where they went through periods like that, and a lot of times it led me into their lives and them into my life, you know. Um, and how far you want to continue to go with that is up to you. How much of the Most High Yah you want? If you're going to continue seeking, or if you're going to plateau out and get watered down. But I'll tell you this too. I can remember way back when, in my early 20s, getting depressed and down and about the holiday season coming around, and me not having a family or whatever, and not being like the times of old. And y'all, that's a heavy deception. Boy, that's a heavy deception. I mean, that's one of the hardest things of coming out of her, is where, because you got all these memories that you've been brainwashed with from your past of growing up and how the holidays were when you were a child and all that. And to look at those feelings, and that's what they are, those emotions, to cast those down, that is one of the idols that, man, some people they can't do it. They cannot do it. There's people I know, man, they know they're Hebrews, but they can't give that up. They can't give it up. That's one of the things that people made a god of. That's one of those that, what do they call it? Christmas spirit. And man, is it a spirit. They got that damn right. And that same spirit is the one that ushers in the other spirit of depression. And then that depression ushers in the other spirit of suicide. But sometimes it comes by another avenue. It's that spirit of lust. And in that spirit of lust, or evil concupiscence and inordinate affections, will usher in the other spirit of suicide, or another spirit of murder, of rage. And this is why the Most High, this is how you really see the love of the Most High. I'm telling y'all, man, I speak on this because I have seen it. I bear witness to murders and suicides in my life, just known family members and friends and people I've I've seen it, and it's real. And I said, Yah, I said prayers to Yah when I didn't even know really who Yah was. I said, man, I was like, Yah, I don't like show me what this is. And this is what it is. We gotta come out of her, my people, literally and spiritually. We gotta divest ourselves of all the cares of this world. Everything, everything about you has to change, y'all. Everything, this thing, following Yah's way, everything, you have to leave no stone unturned in what you're having to turn over to Yah and change. Because the things of this world are deceptive and evil. This world's culture is deceptively wicked. The Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit. Whew. And it comes in, just like all sin, it comes in real nice and it feels good until it destroys you. And you know my saying? That no pain, no gain. Excuse me. No pain, no gain. And if it feels good, you're not doing it right. And people will come up with every excuse in the world of why, oh, we do it. Why they're not coming out, why they celebrating these holidays, why they're tolerating wickedness around them. They, they sit there with their, oh, we're doing it for the children. Yeah, don't do it for the children. You're doing it to the children. You putting that holiday spirit on them. You know, you're giving that love definition and showing them what that is. You're putting you're putting that sorcery on them. Y'all, we really got to come out of her. We got to come out. You know, why celebrate some wicked holidays in the dead of winter when we got the feast days throughout the year? We get to come together with our righteous family. You know, this thing real, y'all. So really breaking this whole thing down, man, it's a whole mechanism. And what it is at the end result, what it is unrighteousness. That's what it comes down to. That's what it amounts to, is and unrighteousness. People not doing what thus saith the Most High. And the Most High Yah says, come out of her, my people. We are not called to celebrate these wicked holidays. When you research the history on these holidays, on Christmas and Thanksgiving and New Year's, they all speak in evil. Evil and idolatry and wickedness, and they go against the word. Christ's Mass, which was, the Catholic Church, the Beast Church came up with it. Got to do your research. So what it comes down to is dying to self and understanding the why behind it. Not just doing stuff for religiosity's sake. I don't do nothing unless I get it. It says, understand. I can't tell you, man, you read the book of Proverbs, I can't tell you how many times it tells you in that book to get wisdom and to get understanding. Don't just be out here blindly doing stuff. Understand the practicality in the not giving your whole heart, mind, and soul over to something on earth when the Bible tells you to give your heart, mind, and soul to the Most High Yah. Like, understand the whole process, the chain reaction of going against what is written there, where the end result could be suicide or rage or murder. Like I said, I done seen this thing, man. I can't tell you the number of people I've known they've been murdered, been suicide, um, all that, and then and lost their minds and went crazy. You know, every other thing. I'm just saying the most extreme. But yeah, I've seen this. You ain't designed. We were not designed to connect with a person and then sever it, then connect with another person, sever it, and this casual so-called dating thing they got out here. We're not designed for that. Like, that's not how we're made up. A lot of y'all won't know that because, look, you don't live communally. You don't live as an assembly. You know. You're not going to see the alternative to that because there is no alternative if you're an individualite out there. There's not really a good alternative. But when you live according to the word, there is an alternative. Anyway, if you see the number on the screen there, if you desire fellowship, if the Most High is leading you to fellowship, call that number there, leave a message. They'll get back to you to see if there is an assembly near you for you to fellowship with. Something I was told is that people come on here, people have been calling Straitway, and there have been people who actually got upset because what they thought is you call Straitway and you tell Straitway, hey, I want to be on a community. And Straitway says, oh, okay, here, go to this one right here. They give you the address, you pack all your stuff up and drive on to a community, and boom, there you are. And that's sad if you think that. And that just shows that you don't follow Straitway. You haven't listened to any Pastor Dow's messages. You haven't watched any of the other brothers and sisters that teach a Straitway. You ain't followed anything. The way we operate in Straitway, we got to see where your spirit at first. You got to get your spirit right. Step 1, 2, and 3. That's step 1, 2, and 3. We're not even ready to talk about step 4 till you get done with step 1. You see what I'm saying? So, again, you know, get around some like-minded brothers and sisters. And step 1 in doing that, or the first step in doing that, is calling that number. And then, and then have an open spirit to what needs to happen from there. Let the Most High Yah lead. You know. But at the end of the day, it's about working your salvation out with fear and trembling, not getting mad at people because they say you can't move because you some stranger. We don't know what's going on with you, and we won't move you on a community. Like, that's crazy. You showing exactly what you about. But anyway, had to address that. Anyway, y'all, with that said, we're on the road here, and I don't want to start getting into an area where the signal ain't good. So, but anyway, I hope this was informative. Like I said, this was a request that was made to me, so I fulfilled it. And with that said, y'all, appreciate all y'all tuning in. I'm Michael Israel. You watching Spiritual Combat. Shalom, shalom.